back to the channel. We're going to do a quick review of this CLS55. It's my car. I've had it for about 2.5 years. I've not got bored of it yet, so I just thought I'd do a quick review, go for a drive, talk to you about the car. Given the fact that it's 16 years old now, it's actually still fully loaded. It's got electric everything, so steering wheel is electric, seats are electric, heated massage seats, everything's leather as well, the dashboard. This is a CLS55, so it's got a 5.5 litre supercharged V8. It's petrol, 5-speed, known as a 722. And this gearbox, even though it's quite clunky by today's standards, is nowhere near as quick as the DSG gearbox. You can actually just get away with it because it's got so much torque. This is tuned slightly. It's running about 540 brake and about 600 pounds of torque. Really tunable engines. In the States, these can go up to 800 horsepower on the standard block, no problem. This one's actually done about 121,000 miles. There's cars running in America that have done 400,000 miles and they're still running the same horsepower than what they came out with from the factory. The factory figure's 476. Right, I'm going to be quiet for a minute and just let everyone hear what it actually sounds like. Considering it's straight through, it's actually not too bad. I don't really get any drone, it's straight through all the way. It's still got the cats and things on. Some of you watching this video might be interested in the E55, which this car's based on. There's a couple of changes. The original E55, the early ones, it's got a slower steering rack. If you go for a late one, it will have the same steering rack as this, which is about 15% quicker. So, you know, on these small roads, you can definitely feel the weight of the car. It's not going to hide its weight that well. It's got a few settings, not as much as what you'd have on a newer car. So it doesn't have any throttle response settings. Throttle's actually relatively slow. It doesn't jump around, which makes it a bit easy, and it's automatic, so it's quite relaxing to drive. It's got a couple of suspension settings. Sport 1 firms it up, and then Sport 2 firms it up even more, and that actually lowers the car about 15 mil. Especially when you hit 70 miles an hour, the car will drop. So when you see these sitting on the motorway, it actually looks quite nice. This one's been modified. It's got stretch tyres on it, 20-inch alloys. The ride isn't great, but a standard stock one is really good because it's air ride. Even the gear changes, like I said earlier, you've got two options of doing it. You can use these buttons. You can see it's quite slow. Look, drop it down. It's almost a second delay. Or you can use the stick here as well. Whack it to the right and it goes up, and to the left it drops gear. It is more of a car that you're going to enjoy kind of on bigger roads. It's not going to be doing too well on A roads. Something like a hot hatch quite easy to keep up with this at normal speeds. Like I said at the start of the video, I've had it a couple of years and I've never got bored of it, and I do get bored of cars quite easily. And it's still something, whenever I jump in it, I'm excited to drive it. Always makes me want to take the long way home as well. Obviously, you don't buy a car like this because of the fuel economy. I normally get around 18, 20 on motorway run. A bit later in the video, I will take it on motorway run and just run it at 60 miles an hour just to see what it's capable of. In the day-to-day driving around town, it's going to go down to about 12, 13. I think any AMG owner is quite familiar with that. And it's nowhere near as efficient as some of the newer cars. So it doesn't have cylinder shutdown, anything like that. It's just pure old school, single overhead cam, 5.5 litres and supercharged. And that's why the block can take it so well. One of the main issues with these cars, the M113K engine that's in here, the cooling isn't brilliant. So you can upgrade the Johnson pump, you can do split cooling. new shape, personally, I don't think it's as good as this. I think this car will more than likely be a future classic. I know that word gets bandied around a lot, but it's got an iconic engine in it, it's an iconic shape, and it's actually pretty decent to drive, which for Mercedes is quite rare of this era. The new ones, the new A45s, they're obviously much better, but in this era, Mercedes, they weren't really making that many entertaining cars really. If you're looking at getting one of these, you should also look at the 63 model, CLS55. So in the last year and a half, when they facelifted the cars, they dropped this engine and they went for the 6.2 naturally aspirated engine that can be found also in the C63 and a number of other AMGs. That car, really similar to drive, except obviously the engine and gearbox are different. That's got a 7-speed gearbox. In terms of it being quicker, it's about the same in terms of up to about 100. Maybe that car's got the edge, but that really comes from the gearbox, because that engine's got less torque and is less tunable. It sounds better in my view because it's naturally aspirated, and this has got the supercharger whine, so it really depends what you prefer. Yeah, prices for these cars at the moment, they're a bit all over the place, anywhere between 8-9,000 up to about 13-14 grand. So it's probably nearing the bottom. So if you want to get one, now's probably a good time, especially with all the changes that are going on. You might as well enjoy these cars while you can. They're not going to make them like this anymore. This was the last supercharged AMG engine. The rest have been turbocharged after that, and it's only a matter of time. The talk is the next C63 is going to be 4-cylinder, so let's see how that turns out. Right, we're just coming up to a tunnel, which is one of my favourite things, so let's see what it sounds like. So one of the features on this car, it's got dynamic seats, very similar system to what you've got on the E60 M5. So once you activate it, the bolsters on the seats, they hold you in as you turn the wheels. It follows the steering basically, similar to the headlights as well. The headlights follow you on this, so that's a good feature considering how old it is. It's pretty standard these days. It's also got massaging function on the seats, the heated seats as you'd expect. I think the one thing I don't like about this car is the steering wheel. It just kind of really dates the interior. It doesn't feel great. I'm definitely going to be changing it for one that's out of the CLS55, which is a 3-spoke wheel. So I'll do a quick video on that as soon as I get around to fitting it. Hi guys, I just thought I'd put the decibel meter on so you can see how loud it is on the motorway. So I'm just going to be quiet for a minute. It's averaging around 74, 75, which is definitely louder than what you'd get in a stock one. And if I just accelerate it a bit, you'll see this. You'll see it get louder. Yeah, so it's livable. It's not as quiet as what you would expect in a car like this, but this has been modified. If it was stock, the standard exhaust is actually really quiet. Right guys, so we're going to do the MPG test. It's completely unrealistic, but it's going to give you a good idea of what this car can do. So 60 miles an hour, 10 miles, same stretch of road. Let's see what we end up with. Guys, so we've just finished the miles per gallon test. 60 miles an hour, 10 miles, cruise control is showing 26.2. So there's no way you're going to get that in real life, but it does show what the car's capable of. It's got a big tank, 80 litres. You can probably do the best part of 400 miles, which gives it a really good range, so really, really nice for long journeys. Anyone that's had an E60 M5, the V10 one, that car just cannot do more than 250 miles on the tank, and that just becomes really annoying, having to go and fill up all the time. Could really do with a limited slip diff. The only one that comes with a limited slip diff is actually the performance pack. That's got slightly bigger brakes, LSD, very hard to find, there aren't many, definitely not in the UK anyway. but I would say that that's a worthwhile investment in one of these. Otherwise, you're either going to spin the power away, or the traction control is just going to keep cutting back, and it's no fun. It's really aggressive. As soon as you put your foot down, it kicks in. Hi everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. This is my personal car anyway, and like I said, I've never got bored of it. If you're thinking about getting one, now's the time to do it before prices go up, and you know, we don't know if we're going to be able to continue driving these kind of cars. They're definitely not making them anymore, so you might as well enjoy it while you can. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to share it with friends and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys soon.